All right, everybody, welcome back to the second part of this dragon eye video. Since you left last time, I found some new tools and new items that I thought would make really good textures for our dragon eye. So let me show you one of the new textures I have. I'm using this piece that, if you remember from earlier, that I cut out for the top of our dragon eye. This is a container of allergy medicine. We use it every day in our home because we all have allergies. But the top of it, the lid, is the part that caught my attention while I was sitting here. I love the ribs that are here on the lid. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to push into my clay. I'm going to roll it and it's going to push and it's going to create a texture. My camera likes to try find different things to zoom in on. There we go. It's going to have this fun texture. That's perfect for a dragon. I'm going to go ahead and make another texture with this. And then clean off the pill case. All right, so now I think I'm going to do the zigzag eye thingy again because I thought that was fun. And it worked pretty well for me. But this knife, I would say, is probably not my favorite thing for drawing textures like this. So one of the other new tools that I found was a toothpick. Preferably unused. There's my toothpick. Now this time, because I have a good texture on the front of this, the back of this is where I need to score it. If you don't put any texture on it, it really doesn't matter where you score it. All right, I'm adding water again to my clay, to both my pieces. I have a feeling this little bit is going to break off when I lift it up. Oh, look at that. It already broke off. But you know what? We're just adding it to a flat dragon eye surface. I'm adding it to a flat surface. So it's okay. Okay, so what I'm loving about this is the fact that we can do a lot of dragon eyes with just a little bit of clay. We're pretty close to being finished. If you don't remember, we put your initials on the back so that way I know I put a 5 on it. But I want to make sure it's definitely more dragon and less human eye. And right now I'm borderline human eye. I have left these little gaps to slide the marble in when it comes back out, hot glue or stick the marble on. I want to fill this space up. So I've taken a coil, a really skinny little coil. I've already used the coil before, so I like the idea of just repeating it. And I'd like to try and get the coil down in here, beside the dragon eye. Now, I think what I want to do is just fill this whole space in. So using my toothpick again, I'm going to score this area in here, scratch it up. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to comb my coil. If I don't love it, I can take it back out. So I'm just going to be really soft. So I've combed the toothpick, combed the coil, water it, and water. Now I'm going to put my coil in here. And I'm actually going to fish this thing back and forth to fill it up. Do you have to do this? No. You don't have to fill it in like a coil. You can do whatever you want. I'm just trying to fill in a little bit more space around the dragon eye to make it look more dragon and less human. I mean, listen, if a human eye looked like this, we would have issues. So don't be too worried. I like that. Not loving it, but it's okay. All right, next thing is I'm going to try and do a little bit over here on this side too. So I'm going to repeat my method of coil and comb and fill it in. Again, we talked about we're leaving the center free so we can add the marble into it. We're always using water to attach the pieces and to get them in. If you don't do the water and scoring, it'll stay together until it dries. So please, just go ahead, do it, score it, add the water, finish it up. There's my dragon eye. I'm decently impressed with myself and my eye. I'm really excited when the eye is put in there with all the color from the marble, and then you have that pupil that we talked about in class. The pupil is not a round one. It's got this built-in design. Go ahead, draw it in there if you want to. All kinds of texture that came from the pill bottle, that came from the straw. You guys find more texture. Here's a dice. We keep dice sitting on our table at home because we like to play a game called 30, and you try and roll the dice and get to 30. So I thought the dice might even make a cool imprint. I don't know if it'll make that much of an imprint. Oh, the 6 does, because I pushed down pretty hard. All right, here's the 5, and then I'm going to bring this up so you can see it. It's yours. I have used crochet doilies, if you happen to have any of those around. If you have scarves that have a texture to them, yarn, anything like that will create great textures for this project. So 5th, finally, your Dragon Eye project has dropped. Be ready. Watch your class dojo for a link to it that will take you to YouTube. You can also watch for emails that will have this. So thanks for coming and visiting. I'd love to see what your projects are and how they've turned out. Stay tuned also for how you're going to turn them in and get them to school so they can be fired. I will leave my clay out of my bag, my Dragon Eye out of my bag. This other clay will go back into the bag for more projects in the coming days. Bye, everyone.